We are live for our first boys soccer broadcast of the fall 2023 season as the Titans look to build on a historic season last year, get into the state championship game. I guess the last soccer broadcast for the boys we did on this field was the state quarterfinal penalty kick shootout. Joe Turkley was the hero with multiple saves, and he's back in goal today. So, on this warm, late summer day, quarter mile from the banks of the James River, we are ready for some soccer. I'm Rick Hamlin, joined here by
Layla Talaby.
Sylvia Troy.
We got Drew Kidwell on the camera. So, if there's any issues with the camera,
Blame Drew.
Text at Drew Kidwell. All right, we are off. Game has begun. The visitors from St. John Paul the Great up in Dumfries, Virginia, came about an hour and a half, down 95 for this one, and some quick early passing by the Wolves of John Paul the Great. Titans wanted a foul there, but no call, and the first attack into the final third is by John Paul, and they quickly are on the scoreboard 34 seconds into the game. Wow. That was not the start you want if you're Trinity. Holy
Not
cow.
ideal.
Why am I seeing this, but it being
Not ideal.
so far?
The
Definitely not the start you want there.
I need to be here.
goal scorer, I believe, was I think it was number 8, Damian Ramirez. That was quick.
That was
The
quick.
quickest goal I think I've seen in a varsity high school soccer game, and I've seen a lot of them. So
Tucker with a nice wide clear there.
Nathan applying good pressure.
yeah, so the Titans have got to shake that off. Start from scratch. Trinity playing without one of their top players today, Hayes Shepard, who's out with a concussion. Good pass there by Oliver Simpson out to Pierce Riddle. And you see up top for the Titans, it's Nathan Sims getting the start along with Seth Molesky and Ben Gravely.
Man, I have a quick question for you. With such a fast goal like that, how do you feel like it affects not only the offense, but especially the midfielders and defense? They have to be upset with themselves,
Well,
letting such an
there's
early
a couple
goal go
ways that it can go when a quick goal is scored like that, as the ball trickles through to Joe Turkley. So sometimes I've seen where a team scores in the first minute or two and they actually kind of take their foot off the gas and think it'll be easy. But if you're the Titans with pretty much, I mean, other than Seth Molesky and Matthias Rusi, an entirely new starting lineup this year, it can't be great for their confidence of this, relatively inexperienced team.
Yeah, exactly. I believe, Joe had some backup experience, and of course a lot of the guys were second string or JV last year. But
Yeah, Joe.
we do have a lot of older players, though, which is always great for a squad.
Yeah, and Brady Lang started some last year. I guess when he was healthy, he generally started. But most of the starting 11 were either on JV, like Pierce and Tucker. As another shot comes in, Joe makes the save. Or
Nice save.
like in the case of Nathan and Banga, they're seniors who are out for the first time. And then some guys like Ben Gravely and Jack Cranston, who were on the team last year and got some minutes but weren't necessarily normal starters. So I know the boys have had 5 scrimmages leading into this game, so they've gotten a decent amount of game time, but I just don't think they were expecting a start like that. And
Yeah.
for John Paul the Great, I mean, you got to give them a lot of credit coming off a long bus ride, and they didn't have as long a warm-up. Like when school got out, they weren't even here yet.
Yeah.
And for them to jump out and score 34 seconds into the game is impressive. But long way to go. Titans will settle in, and I think this is going to be a close contest. Great tackle there. That was, I think, Damian Ramirez 8. So I think the goal scorer I actually think was number 9, who's not on the roster we have for John Paul the Great. So yeah, it's unfortunate when the roster does not match what your eyes see on the field, but I believe number 9 scored the goal, but we don't have a number 9. But they're throwing it to him, and he settles it, lays it off, and
Wide.
just wide on the left-footed shot there by number 14, who's also not on our roster. So
Nope.
that was close, though. That was a real dangerous
Real chance.
attack by the Wolves. So, Layla,
Yes.
you have obviously played soccer a long time, big fan. We're just over 5 minutes in. What are some things you've noticed in the early going today?
I've noticed that St. John Paul is like really quick to the ball, really physical, really going in 100% for their tackles, moving the ball quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, their speed of play is impressive. Keeper is way out, and going to be a corner kick. That was a nice looking build up from the Titans as Brady Lang laid it off to Pierce Riddle. They take the corner very quickly, and
Yeah.
I didn't think.
Yeah. I think that was a little fast.
Yeah,
for-
so I don't actually think his teammates were ready for that.
Yeah. I think there's a time for a fast corner, but that wasn't it.
Yeah, I
don't think.
agree. Now John Paul looks to counterattack.
Yeah.
Long shot was
shot.
not too far off there by
Yeah.
number 1, Santiago Ornaco.
I feel like you're normally not going to beat Joe like from that far out though.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty close. I mean, Joe didn't look too troubled by it, but from up here it looked like it didn't miss by much. Good look by
Great
Banga. Mwenda, but a little too much on it and trickles through to the keeper. John Paul the Great looking to establish some possession here. It's a nice ball played out, but a good steal by Brady Lang. We find Seth Molesky.
Seth with some fancy footwork.
Yeah, Tucker Tedderton, the left back, looks to connect it to Oliver Simpson. Oh,
That,
Oliver's pass had a little too much on it for Pierce Riddle there. I guess they're going to say John Paul got a foot on it and give the throw to the Titans. Good defending by Tucker Tedderton on Massimino Velez to see that one out for a Titan throw. Brady Lang
Send it
with
to
a good
Brady
change
Lang.
of pace, but just
Yeah.
way too
way
linear.
Too much on it. Too.
Yeah, we've had, I think, 3 of those now where you've seen Titans look for that through ball and just got too much on it. And the keeper for John
Good
Paul,
punt.
Aiden Olsch, is done a good job getting to it. Nice job
Great
by
effort
Seth
by
Molesky.
Seth. Oh,
That ball is saved by Massimo Valles, and not the best clearance by Matthias Rusi as the Wolves threaten again. Ball's going to be deflected out for a corner, so just over 9 minutes in, and John Paul the Great has definitely been on top. If you joined us a little late, John Paul scored 34 seconds in. One of the fastest goals I've ever seen. I mean, Trinity hadn't even touched the ball, and they were pulling out of the back of the net. And John Paul's had 2 shots go just wide since then, and now they'll have a corner kick. Ball's played beyond the far post, and Banga sees it out for another corner. That one is headed by John Paul, but saved by senior
Nice
goalkeeper
Joe.
Joe Turkley. Good punt by Joe across midfield, but the Wolves possess it. Titans just have not been able to really get into rhythm quite yet. I don't think they've completed more than 2 or 3 passes in a row.
Yeah.
Matthias Rusi, the junior center back, is probably really got the most experience in terms of high school soccer playing time of anyone on this team. He's played big minutes as a freshman and pretty much all the minutes last year as a sophomore. Seth Molesky
Great
lays it
ball
off.
by Seth.
Nathan Sims gets there, but they're going to say he strayed just off sides, and that was right in front of us, or right below our
Yeah.
perch here, and I thought Nathan was not offsides there. I actually think we had a
Right.
better angle
Second
on that than the AR on the other side. So tough call.
I think Nathan Sims is a really interesting addition to the soccer team here. Not the would say the most experience with soccer, definitely track and field star. So definitely brings the field aspect that is definitely needed for the game.
Yeah, it's a really cool story, honestly. I mean, Nathan came into Trinity as a junior transfer last year, put up incredible numbers on the track, set several school records in different sprint events, and then this year rolls out to soccer for the first time, and in the first home game of the season, he's a starter. Just speaks to his athleticism and coachability, and he worked his tail off this summer at summer pickup games, and he came out here and worked with Coach Mills individually quite a bit, and you see that work paying off. He scored in the scrimmage at St. Christopher's last week, and you're not going to see anybody faster on the field at this level than Nathan. Good tackle by Matthias Rusi. Well, that's a nice ball played in. And that shot is wide of the mark for the Wolves. Got a player down in the box, a little slow to get up. That is number 9, the goal scorer, who is not on our roster. Long ball played out by Jack Cranston, and that was brought down very well by the Wolves. And it's out to the corner. Oh, another one just wide. And the Titans just, I think they're really missing Hayes Shepard, who, as we mentioned, is out today with
100%.
possible concussion, keeping him out for precaution. Trinity just can't really seem to get possession and build much so far in the first 14 minutes.
I think definitely we're talking about. We're seeing a lot of long balls to Nathan Sims, Pierce Riddle, Seth Molesky, and I mean they're not connecting, especially with Seth and Nathan. There, we just saw another example where Oliver couldn't keep control of it.
Yeah, you see Seth gets the ball there. He's got 4 opponents around him. Joe has worked really hard on his distribution out of the back, and you see him there with a big kick all the way across midfield that is headed out for a Titan throw.
Great effort by Brady, pushing it up the field.
Yeah, Brady Lang can be a real, I think, difference maker for this team. He brings incredible speed. Left-footed, but he's also strong with his right foot. That's a nice cross, but
easy save for the keeper.
header flicked on to the keeper, but that was promising, and the Titans had numbers at the back post there. If they could have pulled that off, it had 3 or 4 to aim at. That was well handled. So we said 14's not on our roster, but I hear them calling Josh, so that must be Josh Habteramian. And there is Josh Habteramian. He puts that left-footed shot over the goal, over the netting behind the goal, and into the woods. And I don't envy whoever has to go try and locate that ball.
That's
I
Kate.
believe that would be our managers, Kate, Princeton, and Tony.
Yeah.
Great managers.
Looks like Kate and Princeton are making their way to try and track that one down. Interception by Oliver Simpson. Good pass to Banga. He lays it back off to Oliver, and it's nice to see the Titans gain a little bit of possession. Played into the back post, Ben Gravely.
Oh.
That was played, should be a corner. Yeah, good job defending there by Michael Cruz Lopez at the back post. That was an excellent ball by Oliver Simpson. Looking for Ben Gravely at the back post. Probably the most promising attack we've seen from the Titans yet.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I definitely think they don't want to go fast here. I think they need to take their time. A lot of players don't seem. So I think that was the first mistake with their first corner.
Yeah, I mean, the first corner, there were only 4 guys in the box. 2 of them weren't even looking at the ball yet. It was.
I think there was definitely a plan to engage, but
bizarre.
not everyone was
1,
on the
2, 3,
page
4.
there.
This time there's about 7 to aim for. They just look much more organized, and it's going to be cleared out for another corner. And last year we got a lot of chances to watch the Titans play, and they were really dangerous from corner kicks. Now, a lot of that was Davis Geis, who was really strong in the air, but that could be a real weapon for this team. That's a good ball.
Oh.
Snuck through everybody. And you see Taylor Tuckerton with the height there near the goal. I think that's one of their close goal weapons that they're going to have to utilize this season for sure. Probably being, I think, the tallest guy on the team.
Yep. Nice counter attack. Good tackle, but John Paul retains. It's a really nice ball laid out to the far post. Gabriel Zantus fighting to win a corner. It's still in. Now they're going to blow the whistle for a foul. They're going to say that Zantus elbowed Jack Cranston there. Fortunate for the Titans, because that was about to be awfully dangerous. Good job by Tucker Tatterton.
Yeah, great touch.
Nice connection to
Yeah.
Seth Molesky.
They got 3 on the approach here.
Just a little too much on it. Oh, he saved it. Never mind. Oh, never mind.
It's a good idea by Seth, but just a little too much on it. big switch all the way across the field. And they're really going to test Jack Cranston down here in the corner. And unfortunately for the Titans, he gets beaten. Good recovery, though. And Pierce Riddle,
That
for
was
the
just
fourth
wide.
or fifth time, John Paul the Great puts it just wide. So almost 20 minutes in, it is warm, it is humid, it is still summertime, really,
Yeah.
and it feels like it. And I think that's contributing somewhat to the relatively lethargic pace of this first half. It's not being played at the speed of play that you might expect to see in late September, October.
Wasn't able to step on the pitch myself, but it was pretty ugly earlier today. Bit rainy for the past couple of days, so I'm not exactly sure how the pitch feels out there, but definitely could be a factor.
That's a good point, Silvio. It's rained a ton. This field drains pretty well, but it's probably still a little wet, and it just makes it that
Good
much
recovery.
more challenging when you're running on it. Turned over. And John Paul once again looks to be on the ascendancy. Nice left-footed shot, but good job by Joe Turkley to get his body behind it.
Just want to look at that play real quick again. Trying to think of a replay, did not save. That's on me. My bad, folks. Just give me a second. I'll go away.
Oh, I thought he was about to actually.
Nice
Sorry
ball
about
by
that.
22.
Didn't quite come off there, but good job by Brady Lang. And now he's going to go
Nathan.
over the top for Nathan Sims, where he's able to use his speed, and he's still on his feet. It's gonna
Oh,
flag. The crowd wanted a foul, but no call. Good interception by Brady Lang. Topanga. He's dispossessed. Topanga looks tired. I mean, he hadn't played soccer in several years. Great athlete, good skill, but game speed is a whole different deal than what it looks like in practice.
Sorry, I'm having a bit of difficulties trying to figure out.
Is our video out right now?
Don't think so. I'm trying to figure out how to get that back.
nice header by Nope.
Yeah, great
Oh,
header by
yeah.
Matthias Rusi. We are going to have, I think, a
Water break?
water break. We're right about that midway point of the first half, and so with the warm temperatures, we're going to let these guys go get some hydration.
They came down right first time the way you touched it. Basically, right on up, one pass, boom, right on. It's not good. Like nobody is awake yet. 34 seconds in.
All right, so while we're trying to get
Oh, never mind.
pictures back up.
There we go.
All right.
Thank you.
We're about a quarter into this game. John Paul the Great definitely has had the better opportunity so far, more possession, more shots. They came out on fire with a really quick goal at the beginning. Layla, what do you think the Titans can do to get back in the game?
I feel like they have to be more on their toes. I feel like they're being second to the ball. They're not communicating. I can barely hear them talking. Communication will be key. Speed of play, that has to improve for them to get by this defense.
Yeah, I think the communication's an excellent point. I mean, last year with a team that started often, 9 seniors, 8 or 9 seniors, I mean, those guys really, you come to these games and you would hear them from the parking lot, that they knew how to talk to one another, knew the importance of communication. Now you're looking at a group with a lot of guys who haven't gotten big minutes before in their career, and even in terms of like Nathan and Banga, they haven't even really played much soccer. And
Yeah.
so I think sometimes there's a tendency, if you don't know exactly what to say nothing. But as a soccer coach, I've always felt like saying anything is better than saying nothing. Just having that verbal
Yeah.
communication, it can serve to kind of intimidate the other team, and also just gives you more eyes on the field for those things that you can't see. And I'm sure that Coach Phillips and his staff are going to be reiterating that they got to bring up the communication. And then also, I think just the overall passing, there have been some good ideas, but just haven't been able to establish much possession. That's a nice little combination with Cranston to Molesky, out to Roman Gamino, who's in for the first time, back to Cranston, and a nice switch of play. That's some of the best
That's
passing
some
we've
great
seen,
ball.
really.
That's the best
Banging.
passing sequence.
Yeah,
of
so
the
they
game.
come out of the water break, and really that was the first string of about 5 passes in a row that we've seen.
That's how they should have
Hammond,
started.
I wanna retouch on the communication. I mean, knowing a lot of these guys personally, a lot of them are pretty quiet souls. Besides maybe Seth and Pierce, and Nathan, Banga, they're not that loud characters that you would see in every day. So definitely getting on the soccer field and having to scream, yell at your teammates of what to be doing is not natural and could definitely be scary.
That's a great point, Silvio. Yeah, I mean, if you had asked me, again, knowing a lot of these guys, will communication be a strength this year, or an area that's going to need a lot of work, I would have predicted it would need a lot of work. It is a pretty quiet group, a lot of really nice guys, great kids, but not the most vocal group of guys. But on the field, it doesn't matter. You've got to communicate. I think Matthias Russi is a good example of someone who's overall pretty quiet guy in life, but on the field, he communicates a ton, and that's what makes him such an effective, defender. Seth Molesky throws it into Oliver Simpson, and if you're John Paul the Great, going to that water break and having a chance as a coach to talk to your team a little bit, you're probably just saying, keep more of the same. We're playing great.
Driven by Brady Lang there, though.
Seth is making a good run up the left side. If Brady can find him, he does. And Seth, with the ball in the box, showed a little too much of it to the defender. There was great talk as they called man on. Oh, that was a good idea by Brady.
Great idea.
And number 22 there, Massimo Velez,
Nice.
did a
stop
good
by
job to
the
progress
ball.
it forward. It's a good little ball over the top. Titans went off sides, but they're not going to get that call, and the chance remains. Near post ball, Joe is just able to save it. That was scary if you're a Titan fan. And then Matthias Russi booted it about 70 yards downfield, and amazingly Nathan Sims almost tracked that ball down as he was able to show off his incredible speed there. Good long throw for the Wolves.
I can't. That's max.
And nice give and go by John Paul the Great. Velez shot is into
Skied
the
it.
woods. See,
I feel like
go ahead,
we-
Layla.
Oh, I feel like when we first got out of the water break, that's the best we've seen them play. They need to bring more of that to how they're playing and stuff, and implement that more.
Yeah, and I'm sure that all the things we talked about during the water break, communication and possession, is what the coaches were saying. And you're right. For the first couple minutes, we saw a great improvement in those areas. But you have to sustain it at this level. You can't just have one good string of passes. That wears the team down when you're able to possess. And Trinity just really hasn't been able to connect the way you would like in the early part of the season. Now, I'm not sure what John Paul was able to do at practice yesterday. They have some turf fields. I know it rained so much here that Trinity pretty much just watched film, didn't really get to do much on the training ground. And and as a coach, that's always scary when you don't have a real, full productive
Yeah.
practice the day before a game. That shot
Yeah,
was
that-
over by Santiago Boranco, and it'll be a goal kick for Joe Turkley and the Titans.
Yeah, as the point you were saying before, especially with the weekend added to that, and then like having 4 days essentially without like being able to get on the field with your teammates can be a struggle to adjust to like game speed.
Yeah, exactly. Especially for a team that's, I wouldn't say young per se, but they don't have a ton of game experience at this level. You see Jack Cranston there, who's a senior and been in the program for a long time, but didn't get a ton of minutes in the past years, and now he's having to step up, and he's done a good job, playing that center back position, as Jack was able to tackle it out there for a John Paul the Great corner. Comes in near post. That was another scary one, but Jack Cranston, who we were just talking about, clears it out. See, out on the left wing for the Titans, sophomore number 26, Grayson Bulow in for the first time today. Grayson was a JV player last year. In fact, this early part of last fall, he wasn't even a starter at this point. So really impressive that he in the first home game is getting quality minutes at the varsity level. Good tackle there by Roman Gamino. The last time John Paul the Great was here 2 years ago, they came out, jumped out to a 2-0 lead. The Titans were able to come back and actually win at 5-2. Now that was pretty much a different cast of characters than we see out there today. I think Matthias Rusi was maybe the only one who played in that game for Trinity that's still out here, but maybe a good sign that there is a lineage and history of comebacks against John Paul.
The girls team came back against St. John Paul when they were here too.
Yes, I remember that game very well. That was when I was in Arizona watching on Banwer's phone. That's a foul on the big striker, number 9 for John Paul the Great. That was a little bit of a welcome to varsity soccer moment for Grayson Bulow there as he got taken out.
Yep.
Seth Molesky connects to Matthias Rusi, and you see good pressure put on by John Paul there, and Titans struggling to build out of the back. Well, we talked about it from as soon as we came on air that Trinity was going to really miss Hayes Shepard, senior, very experienced player in the center of the midfield today. And I think it's worth reminding ourselves how different this team will look when Hayes is in there.
Yeah.
Very skilled, fast, experienced. He tackles, he covers a lot of ground, he can shoot,
He can
he can
talk.
talk for sure.
You can hear him from the parking lot. I feel
Exactly. So that's a big miss, as well as Kenan Muminovic, a guy who's gotten a lot of playing time. He's going to be out for a few weeks with a knee sprain. So even in the early part of the season, a couple very key injuries for the Titans. Ben Gravely
Connection here, though.
carried it through several defenders. Couldn't find Seth Molesky, though, out on the wing, who had made an excellent run. Nice 1-2 there by John
That
Paul.
was a great ball.
Matthias Rusi has really come up huge in this first half. That's an excellent ball. The flag has stayed down. What a save by Joe Turkley.
Great
That
save.
keeps the Titans very much in the game. 1v1 with Joe from inside the 6-yard box. Titans did not quite get the offside trap just right, and Joe with a huge save at the near post.
Yeah.
Layla, you played with Joe back in middle school, right?
Yeah.
Richmond Montessori represent.
Yes. Yeah.
Coached by my very first coach, Coach Baldini, as
Yeah.
the Wolves.
Wait, he was?
Yeah, the Wolves take the corner short. We can talk more about Coach in a minute, but we got to avert this. Good header by Grayson, but the chance is still there. And a nice shot by Roman Gamino to play it out. Good pass by Oliver Simpson, and the
Great
Titans
pass.
look to build. They've got a chance here.
Oh,
Nathan
Yes.
Sims,
he'll get there.
he gets absolutely shoved out of bounds. No call, though. It'll go out for a goal kick. But yeah, when I was like 5, 6 years old, just starting soccer, Coach Baldini was my first coach.
He was my first coach.
He was the man.
He is.
He,
the man.
at least when I knew him, he owned an ice cream shop.
He's never mentioned that to
We
me.
go get ice cream after practice. You know, ice cream sounds pretty nice today.
It really does.
Very humid, very warm, and I think fatigue will absolutely be a factor as this game wears on.
Yeah.
Long
It's
ball
really
over the
hot, really
top.
humid.
Good job by Jack Cranston. Played that really well off his chest, and then knocks it off the John Paul player. Well, I think the officials got that one wrong because they're going to say throw in for the Wolves, but thought that pretty clearly went off of a white jersey, but
Whatever.
you don't, sometimes these officials are human and they make mistakes just like the players. They're going to take the throw in short. Nobody marked the thrower, and he's able to get a
Oh,
cross
nice
in.
save by Joe.
Good job by Joe. Nice header by Tucker Tedderton. Well handled by Oliver Simpson. Back to Turkley, and he goes big. Nice header there by Seth Molesky. And Nathan.
Yes, Nathan.
And good save by Grayson Bulow. It's going to fall nicely for Seth Molesky. I think he's going to try and shoot it. Maybe got a little caught between two minds there, whether that was a shot or across to Ben Gravely, and it goes out pretty harmlessly, but that was promising. 3 straight really strong headers, Tucker Tedderton, Seth Molesky, Nathan Sims, and they were able to press the ball downfield through the air there. And Titans haven't had much success, keeping it on the ground and playing through the line, so maybe those long balls and being strong in the air could be a way forward.
Also, Grayson putting in that effort to save that ball and keep that play
Yeah,
alive.
Grayson's
It's
fast,
great.
and he will work his socks off for the team. Seth tries to step over, but he was well defended, and going to be a throw in for John Paul the Great, and they've got a sub coming on. They haven't subbed too much yet today, but Zachary Garcia is coming in, and that's a very popular substitution with the John Paul the Great JV team. They were really excited to see their buddy Zachary come in. We don't have his grade on here, but I'm going to guess he's maybe a freshman based on the reaction of the JV guys. Good talk by Matthias Rusi there, getting his guys up the field. That's a really nice switch by August
was a
Welch.
great ball.
It's a really great ball. We had a good angle on it too. Excellent tackle by Roman Gamino. Long ball by Welsh. Oh, what a
Oh,
save!
that was a
That was
great
a
save.
really great one-touch shot by Adrian Ramirez. Left-footed, outside of the foot, full volley off the long ball from August Welsh. Not. We might show you that replay in a minute,
That was
but
a great ball by
let's see what the
Nathan.
Titans can come up with here. Ben Gravely is fighting hard for it. Should be a corner, and it is. So this will be the 4th corner kick for the Titans here in the first half.
Yeah.
And I really think, because they've really struggled to create chances from open play, but these corners could be one of the best
Yeah.
opportunities.
Nathan did a great job shielding that ball from that defender and laying it off to Seth.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with Nathan, knowing how relatively inexperienced he is. He's had an excellent first 37 minutes here. That one comes in low. Oh, out to Jack Cranston.
To Grayson. A little too much on it, but right idea.
Yeah, I think Grayson wanted it to his feet. Jack had an idea to lead him. They just weren't quite on the same page on that one. Did you see Grayson's face? He looked like
Yeah.
a little confused
What
by
was that?
that decision. But
I feel like as the season progresses, you'll learn like what your teammates want, like on your feet or like a leading ball. I think that's just something they'll have to grow into.
yeah, that's a great point, Layla. And again, a lot of these guys haven't played together too much. We've had a pretty good preseason, but even preseason started a little bit later than we typically do. So it was only been first practice, I think, was 2 weeks ago today. So even though you have some experienced guys, it's a pretty new team playing in their first real home game. They did play at Woodbury Friday and Saturday. That I heard from some people those were scrimmages, but maybe they counted for real games. But Titans were able to beat Woodbury Forest 2-0 on Saturday. And they also have had scrimmages against St. Christopher's, against the FC Richmond U17 team, and the alumni game. I was able to play in that one. That was a fun battle with the current team and a bunch of alums from boys soccer. Another well-played ball into the box, and they're going to say he was offsides. That's a good job by the Titan defense holding the line there. Jack Cranston's looking big for Seth Molesky, but August Welsh with a good header. I've been impressed with number 3, August Welsh, the right back for John Paul the Great.
Really good.
Good defensively, but he's also good with the ball at his feet. He's had several long switches of play, and that is halftime. So John Paul the Great jumped on the board in the first minute of the game, hopped off the bus from 95, and they were ready and rolling. And as we said, the first time the Titans touched the ball was pulling it out of the back of their own net after a very quick goal. But from there, despite several good chances by John Paul the Great, they weren't able to score again. So Titans are right there in it, only down a goal. Coach Phillips and the staff will get them regrouped at halftime, and still very much anybody's game. So your halftime score is John Paul the Great 1, Trinity Episcopal 0. We will take a quick break while these guys hydrate, and I'm going to go try and coach up these JV guys a little bit, because the JV team that I coach plays right after this game. And we'll be back in a few minutes. So for Layla, for Silvio, for Drew, we will take a short break and be back with you in just a few. Thanks for tuning in. All right, welcome back. Second half coming up here. If you're just joining us, John Paul the Great scored in the first minute of the game. No one has scored since then. And the Wolves from St. John Paul the Great lead 1-0. And I know Trinity wants to have a better start to this half than they did to the first half. And that wasn't the greatest off the kickoff with a quick turnover. But fortunately, it rolls out of play, and it'll be a goal kick for the Titans. So we're past the 34-second mark of the second half, so already better than the start of the first half, because that's how long it took the Wolves to score. Great header by Seth Molesky, but a good job by the defender Alex Garcia to shield Nathan Sims and keep him from getting into a foot race. Good job by Roman Gamino with a header there.
Great pressure by Seth.
Yeah, I mean, the Titans, you can already see they've ramped up the intensity a little bit in their pressing. That's a good ball, and just able to get a touch in as Jack Cranston. It will go out for a corner, but if Jack hadn't gotten a touch there, number 7, Gabriel Zantes, was in. Late runner coming to the box for John Paul the Great. And Joe Turk with the catch, rolls it out to Seth Molesky.
It's a great footwork there.
Yeah, nice job by Seth to find Grayson Bulow, but I always am confused when guys let it run past them when, like, you know you're on the sideline, so why would you let that ball run? They look for the big
Question
cross,
for the
but
ages.
good interception by Banga. He gets shoved off the ball. Late whistle, but I think the
Yeah.
correct call there. And a really good
Great
job by
effort
Banga to
Banga.
anticipate and intercept.
I think that's more the energy we needed in the first half, going in 100% for the tackle.
Exactly, yeah.
Lot of bodies at the far post. Jack Cranston plays it to the far post. It's not cleanly caught. Oh, man, I really think if the Titans had been a little more anticipatory of a possible drop there, they could have had something.
Yeah. I always go in with the mindset of the goalie's going to drop it.
Yeah, you might
'cause
as
you
well.
get in their face, they're get nervous.
Well, I agree. I feel like you might as well assume they're going to drop it, because if they do, you can pounce. And if you assume they do and they don't drop it, you don't lose anything. You might as well. But in this early part of the season, I guess, you know, guys are still figuring out what to do.
Yeah. And a foul from your offensive box isn't really going to do much. So
Yeah, I know. If I did one thing a lot as a high school player, it was foul the keeper. Might as well. Not in a dirty way, but like they're just going to get a kick 100 yards from where they're trying to score. There's a foul, no doubt, for Oliver Simpson. Tugged the jersey. He's getting a bit of a lecture from the official. I think that's one of those, you do it again, putting you in the book kind of things, but been a long day.
yeah, it's going.
All right, so free kick from just about midfield. And they play it out wide to the right. Well read by Banga. But he gets dispossessed. August Welch with a cross. Good header by Matthias Rusi, and a good header to put it out to touchline by Tucker Tedderton. Sub coming on for John Paul the Great. And it looks like it is number 1, Santiago Ornaco, checking back in for Zachary Garcia. Roman Gamino gets in there with a tackle. Pierce hesitated a little, and great job by Matthias.
Great save.
He has saved the Titans
Yeah.
about 4 or 5 times in this game as he just lays his body on the line time after time.
In the box, you just got to clear it.
Nice spin move, but I think it's
Right
gonna
idea, but
go out of play. Actually, Banga kept it in, which I'm not sure that was the best decision. It was going to be a Titan goal kick.
yeah. I feel like we're not pushing up like as a team. It's just
Yeah, it's
Sitting
still a little
back.
disjointed. Grayson
Yeah.
Gulo, good job with the steal. He goes around the John Paul opponent, but great effort. Great job there by Michael Cruz Lopez to, despite getting beaten, he came back and was able to win possession, at least enough to play it out for a throw-in. That was promising by Grayson, though, showing off his quickness. Long ball over the top, but well read by Joe Turkley, and he is able to roll it out to his left back, Tucker Tedderton. Tucker finds the feet of Seth Molesky, back to Tucker. There's August Welsh again. He's really impressed me for John Paul the Great. Pretty much every time he has the ball, he either connects a pass or plays a dangerous cross.
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
There goes that man again, Matthias Rusi coming in to sweep things up. And that ball is, I think, in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
He kicked that ball like
rolling down Wayne.
60 yards in the air, and yes, it's now rolling down Wayne Fleet. Some deer might be having a kickabout with it. Well, I would say the good news, if you are a Titan fan with this inexperienced team and missing Hayes Shepard and Kenan Muminovic through injury, is, I mean, the longer you're just one goal down here on your home field, you're still in it, and the pressure, actually starts to build on John Paul, thinking, I'm sure they thought after scoring in the first minute, like, oh, this is going to be easy, we're going to roll. And as long as Trinity can stay within one, it's right there for you to, what you call like a snatch and grab at the end. And
Yeah,
Layla, I know you're a Liverpool fan like me. I know your dad
Yeah.
is big time. Did you see the Liverpool Newcastle game on Sunday?
I caught some of it while eating breakfast. Yeah,
So I mean, it was pretty much just like this, where Liverpool was down 1-0 almost the whole game, and then they scored 2 goals in the last 8
Yeah.
minutes to sneak a win there at the end. Not saying that's going to happen here necessarily. There's no Darwin Nunez out there for the Titans, but
nope.
there is a Nathan Sims up top, and he's probably faster than Darwin Nunez. Nice job by Oliver Simpson, out to Grayson.
Great
This is
effort.
really promising. Gonna
Corner.
be a corner. By my count, that's the 5th corner of the game for the Titans.
I would double
Yeah.
that.
Haven't produced too many moments so far from the corners, but this is a chance for them to get some guys forward. Grayson is asking for a sub here, limping off a little. I don't think it's too serious, but maybe he got his foot stepped on, something like that. He's played well. Really proud of Grayson in his first home varsity match. This one's played in low. And there's August Welch.
Another corner.
Another corner. Good job by Welsh, though, to anticipate. Another low one. Good header by John Paul. And now they're looking to counterattack.
Good hustle to get back by Trinity there.
Yeah, that was a great point, Layla. I mean, the Titans sprinted back in numbers, and what looked like it could be a promising counterattack came to nothing for the Wolves. Ben Gravely taking people on, but touch was a little heavy. And this is scary if he's onside, but he's offside.
And wide again.
Went just wide anyway, but that was a little bit dangerous. And that just shows you when you lose possession in that middle third, like Gravely did
Yeah.
there, it's coming right back.
It's something the girls' team struggled with a lot last season, losing it in the midfield and dealing with that counterattack when we had a lot of numbers up.
You're telling me.
Yeah, I could hear you very clearly, so.
Good job by Seth Molesky to bring that one down. But it's going to trickle out for a goal kick. Brady Lang checks back in for Pierce Riddle. And looks like that Tucker Tedderton's going to bump over to the right side of defense where Pierce was. I have noticed it's been a bit of a formation change here in the second half. Titans have gone to 4-1-4-1. First half was more of a 4-3-3, but they're really keeping Nathan Sims pushed high up against the back line of John Paul the Great. Nice header by Seth Molesky for Ben Gravely to go attack. Well defended, though, by John Paul the Great. And now it should be a throw-in for the Wolves, and it is. I'm just trying to get the number of that defender out there who did a really nice job of shielding Ben Gravely off the ball.
21.
I think it's the guy throwing it in now.
Yeah, it's the guy throwing it.
I think it's 15. Danny Sullivan.
Yeah,
Yeah, 15.
Nice ball.
that was a good ball.
Matthias. Roman Gamino lost it. He's working hard to get it back, though. Oh, that's a great ball. Right in stride, and fortunately for the Titans, Adrian Ramirez, his shot went wide, but really good outside of the foot through ball there by Massimo Velez. Just a sophomore, put that on a platter for Ramirez. He scuffed his shot a little bit. And Ryan Lloyd, TESPN's own Ryan Lloyd, checking in up top. Senior, another like Banga and Nathan, seniors who didn't play last year. And Ryan is back to soccer this year. Ben Gravely almost was in, but nice job by the keeper there to come out.
Great effort by Brady.
Unlucky slip there. Oh, what a great slide tackle, though, by number 19.
Great block by Ali.
Good block by Oliver Simpson. I don't know what you guys think, but it feels to me like the just overall pace is picked up.
Oh, it has for sure.
Look at Ryan Lloyd running. Good to see him. So
Yeah.
Ryan is the backup keeper, but he's also getting a little bit of run out there as a field player, and he showed off his speed there. Anyway, as I was saying, it just feels like both teams are playing a little bit more urgency.
Yeah.
It has cooled off a bit as the clouds
breeze.
have kind of covered up that sun. This could be something. Seth Molesky tried to get the corner, but was saved by Yanir Cruz. Good tackle by Jack Cranston. Hey, nice catch there by Mr. Cranston. And he threw it right to his son. Those are always nice moments at a high school sporting event. Thanks, Dad. Big throw by Jack Cranston. Ah, it's a bummer. Seth couldn't quite corral it. That was a great throw by Jack, and if Seth had a better first touch there, he was in behind the defense. And
Yeah.
as you know, can't be offsides on a throw-in.
Nope.
I now know.
Yes, Silvio is very experienced on the mic for volleyball and football, but it's your first soccer game, right?
On the mic,
On
yeah.
the mic. That's what I meant, yeah. Great to have you. We've got quite a few soccer broadcasts this fall, so hopefully not the last time. That's a good ball, but he was
Offside.
offsides. Oh, that was a good look by Roma Gamino, but once again, Ben Gravely wasn't quite on the same page, and that's happened several times where,
Yeah.
you know, a guy either wanted to do his feet and they played a leading pass, or a guy wanted a leading pass and they played to his feet. Those things will come for these guys as they play together more. And one thing,
Just takes time.
yeah, like one thing I'm really excited about for this team is there's a pretty obvious foul on Brady Lang right at midfield where it intersects with the sideline. But I was just going to say, I think this should be a fun team to coach because while there's not a ton of experience, there's a lot of really coachable players. And I think Coach Phillips and his staff, Coach Mills, Coach Yasinski, Coach Tyree will enjoy working with these guys. What a
Oh,
punch.
nice save by
Joe
Cho.
Turkely, full dive, two-handed punch. And that's a it's a great steal by Seth, but unfortunately Banga couldn't find him. Would have been a good chance to counter. Jack Cranston using his strength to ward off the John Paul the Great player. That's going to stay in
Great
play.
clearance.
Ah,
Still
man,
in.
unfortunately Nathan is out because that's exactly the kind of ball he would have enjoyed running onto. And that might be the first turnover I've seen from August Welsh all day as he played it across the field to no one. I am really enjoying watching Ryan Lloyd run around out there. Fifth year here at Trinity. Banga connects with Seth
Seth?
Molesky. He wanted to get it on his right foot. Oliver Simpson wins possession, and it's going to be another corner. And
Corner. Sixth corner for Trinity, I
I think it's
believe.
the 7th.
yeah, I think
Seventh?
seventh because
No, seventh.
we had the fifth, and
Yeah.
then they
Oh,
played it right
yeah,
out
it
for
was
the sixth.
two.
So far the first six, we haven't really created much of anything, which is unfortunate. Maybe this is the one. Trinity is playing
Yeah.
much
Yeah,
better.
7 times the charm.
just- yeah, 7 times a charm. Unfortunately,
Or not.
it is not a charm. It actually could be a great chance for a counter for John
Yeah.
Paul. It's a 3v3, good switch of play out to Santiago Bornacle. Shot from the top of the box
Oh!
is off the
Man.
bar, and it will go out for a goal kick.
Yeah.
We don't have number 19 on our roster for John Paul the Great, but he's a really good player.
Yeah. I feel like Trinity was a bit slow to get back on that corner for the counterattack.
Yeah, and the problem too is that counter came in at the near post, and if you don't miss that first man at the near post, you got all those guys on the other side of the ball. Like you got to get it past that first guy.
Yeah.
Jack Cranston, another long ball, great header by Welsh. There's 19 again, causing problems. He's onside. Oh my gosh, Matthias saves
Great
the day.
save.
Great put on
Was
Matthias
that
there.
10?
Yeah, I mean, Keeper is slow to come off his
Oh,
line.
he's in.
Gravely's got a real chance here. Keeper's out. Oh, Ben, trust your left foot. That could have been a real chance, but I think Ben wanted
Yeah.
to get it back on his favored right foot and just wasn't able to. What a ball by Matthias Rusi. Out to Seth Molesky on the left. He also wants to get it on his right foot.
Oh,
He had numbers at the back post, but tried to
yeah.
shoot from
Benga's
no
there.
angle. Layla, you've played for 3 years on the girls team with me as a coach, and I think you know how I feel about when players try and shoot from that angle.
You don't like it at all?
No, because how are you going to beat him from that angle? Like, that's got to be a cross. And Brady Lang climbs the back of Josh Habtermariam, and that is going to be a foul and water break.
Water break.
So we are right at the 3/4 pole of this one, still 1-0. If you've joined us late, John Paul the Great scored 34 seconds in, and that lead is held up. But the second half has been a better watch, just from a spectator standpoint. More chances, more transition.
Much faster
Faster
pace,
pace,
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah. I feel like better communication. I can hear some of the older guys like Seth. I can hear Joe more, and like I can hear Matthias. Like I think the communication has improved.
Gotta give it to Jack Cranston. I think he's been playing very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really. I agree with all that, and Jack's the guy who's been on the varsity team, I think since 9th grade. Well, I guess his 9th grade year was the COVID year, so, but certainly since 10th grade.
Yeah.
And it's just great to see him getting big minutes. He's worked really hard. He's a great guy. And I agree, he's played well. He got a little lucky on one in the first half where he got beaten for speed out wide. He got drawn a little bit far out, and I think Joe had to make a really good save. But overall, Jack's been good in the air. He's provided some good leadership.
Yeah.
Some really nice
That-
long balls.
Yeah. That last clearance was really great. The one that stayed in and like rolled along the sideline.
Oh yeah,
That was a great
that was a
ball.
beautiful ball, like 65 yards up the line.
Yeah. Nathan was in. I feel like he could have really pounced and taken advantage of that ball.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we got just about 20 minutes left here.
That felt like a fast water break.
Yeah, it's definitely not as hot as it was in the first half.
Starting,
A lot more
Good
cloud
breeze
cover,
going.
bit of a breeze indeed.
Great ball by Tucker.
Yeah, Tucker Tedderton has played really well. Guy who was on JV last year. I'm not sure he would have expected to be, basically a full-time, like not ever come out varsity player
Yeah.
this early in the season, but he's acquitted himself very well. Good throw in by Jack Cranston. Seth was able to turn it. It hit the ref, so that's going to result in a drop ball. Brady Lang, great ball to Banga.
Oh, great ball
Nice.
by Benga too.
Yeah, that's a nice one out to Ollie. He gets around the defender. We got numbers in the box, but great job. And I give John Paul the Great a lot of credit. There have been 3 or 4 times today where Titan player has beaten them and they didn't give up on it, worked hard, and were able to make a tackle. As a coach, you love to see that type of effort. Long throw, could go anywhere,
Oh,
and ultimately the keeper,
yeah.
Aiden Olsch, falls on it for the Wolves. Yeah, it was a big throw there by Oliver Simpson.
Yeah. That was like an Ali Placide throw right there.
Shout out Ali Placide. Nice job by Jack Cranston, right to the feet of Seth Molesky.
Oh, great block by that defender.
And Gravely's shot goes just wide, but the longer this game has gone on, the better I would say Trinity has played.
They've really grown into this game. I feel
First
like.
half, I think dominate would be a little too strong a word to describe, but definitely St. John Paul the Great had the better of the play. But I think the second half, Trinity's probably created more, really. They're winning 50-50 balls. They're connecting passes better. As Layla said, the communication is a lot better. And this game, I still feel like it could go either way. The tricky thing for the Titans, though, is John Paul looks really good when they counterattack. They have a lot of speed, and if at any point you switch off mentally,
No pounds.
yeah, they can go right around you. This is a foot race that Joe Turkley wins. Good job by Brady Lang to shield the opponent.
We see some great hustle overall today from Joe Turk.
Ooh, nice job by Ryan with the flick header. Thought there might have been a handball there, but no call.
Great shielding by Tucker to prevent the person.
Yeah, really good defending by Tucker Tedderton there to force the defender out of bounds.
Somebody show for him.
Seth's able to save it. Uses his strength to fight off the defender. And these are the kind of 50-50 balls that Trinity wasn't winning in the first half. Ollie wins that one, still able to retain possession. It's a good idea, but a little high for Banga.
Yeah.
Just about 15 minutes left to go here in this one. The difference, John Paul the Great goal in minute 1, and we have been the same score line of 1-0 since that first minute of play. Great header by Tucker over to Banga. Foul there by Roman Gamino. Perhaps a little bit of a job to sell it there by Gabriel Zantus, as it's pretty dramatic fall there, but it was definitely a foul.
Yeah.
Great job by Tucker to own that header. Tucker said, "Mine." You could hear it all the way up here, and indeed it was his header. And that's the kind of communication we weren't necessarily seeing in the first half.
Yeah. That was a great ball by.
Yeah, Roman intercepts, connects to Gravely. Just showed a little bit too much of it.
Yeah.
Nice job by Jack Cranston to shield the attacker from that one, allow Joe to come get it.
Great ball by Joe.
Yeah, that was another one where they just weren't on the same page. Seth wanted it inside. Jack went outside. It wasn't a bad ball in isolation, but just wasn't what Seth was looking for. Coach Phillips did not like that
No.
call. You don't see Coach get on the refs very much, but I mean, it did pop up off Roman's arm, but I don't think he really knew much about it. And unfortunate whistle for the Titans.
Good clearance by Brady there.
12 minutes to go. Silvio, do you think Titans will score?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe in the guys. I definitely want to see Nathan Sims be able to touch the ball a little today. His touches haven't been very long and or very accurate today, so I definitely hope he gets a second chance. Early he had the slip near the left side there. And hopefully he'll be able to get another chance.
Layla, do you think the Titans will score?
I think there's potential for them to score, but I don't know. We'll see.
First, they have to defend this corner kick, because I
Yeah.
think a second goal by John Paul would pretty much put it out of reach.
Oh.
Good header by Tucker Tedderton, and a foul is called against John Paul the Great. Another really
fast one here.
accurate long ball by Cranston out to Seth Molesky, who's moved kind of all over the field today. We've seen Seth play at several different positions. And it is Ryan Lloyd coming back in.
For Benga.
Banga is checking out. Banga Mwenda, one senior going in for another senior. Good turn by Oliver Simpson. He's still going. He's still going. Skipped past 3 or 4 defenders, but he just took it a
Hung
little
on
too
to it.
far.
Good shield there by Brady Lang.
Matthias Rusi's going to win that. Oh, what a tackle by
step there.
Roman. He's got to just play that over to Oliver on the left.
Great save there on Matthias.
Uh-oh. He's got it on his right foot, and that may be a nail in the coffin with that goal there by Gabriel Zaintus. And, you know, it all started with a turnover right around midfield.
Yeah.
And the Titans just weren't able to regain their shape from that point. And we heard, you know, I heard all the way from up here the Coach Yazinski imploring the midfielders to get back, but they were a little slow to react. And
Yeah. Can never switch off when the ball is turned over.
Bit of cramping for one of the great John Paul players. He's gonna huffs it out. We're gonna see a sub there.
yeah, I think 2-goal deficit with about 10 to go is going to be perhaps too big a mountain to climb, but I know
We'll see.
Titans will battle till the end. Banga comes back in for Roman. That's going to make it all the way out to the
Great
left to
ball.
Seth Molesky. Another great ball by Jack Cranston. Seth went with a left foot there and scuffed it a little bit wide.
Well, he trusts his left, so.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if he had trusted his left earlier when he tried to shoot it with his right foot from no angle, might have had a better chance to score then. So at least, you know, he learned from not using the left foot the last time he was in the box. Nice ball from Joe Turkley. What a header by Ryan Lloyd. Hit Oliver Simpson in stride. John Paul the Great, though, every time they've needed to make a tackle, they have.
They did, yeah. Nice block by Banga there.
That looked to have gone out of bounds, and we finally get the whistle. A little late, but good job by Brady Lang to shield that ball and allow his keeper, Joe Turkley, to come and retrieve it.
Oh, great.
Yeah, we still see a lot of urgency from the Titans. That second goal did not crush their, spirits, which is something you can really build on regardless of how this last 6 minutes goes.
Good defending by Tucker there.
Good pass by Banga. Turnover, and now the Wolves look to counter again.
Oh,
Yeah, maybe a little frustration in that foul.
Yeah.
As Ben Gravely went through the back of John Paul, the great player, and I just saw, one of those moments that you sometimes see in high school sports where right in front of the Titan bench, someone must have said something to the John Paul player. Maybe he suggested he should spend more time in the weight room.
yeah.
And I saw the number 3 point at the scoreboard, and that's kind of ends the conversation when you
Yeah.
have the lead. Little late on that tackle by Tucker Tedderton. Overall, it's been a well officiated game. I mean,
Yeah.
a couple minor calls that, maybe could have gone a little differently, a couple throw-ins and such, but for the most part, I think the refs done a nice job.
A little too much on that, but yeah.
All right, so as we wind down here, the last about 3 minutes or so left, looking at what's coming up for the Titans, they have another home game on Friday against Covenant. And I think with that one we're not going to be streaming because we're doing volleyball that day. But then Next Tuesday, a week from right now, the Titans host Norfolk Academy, and we are going to be
That'll be a
streaming
good
that
game.
one on next Tuesday, September 5th.
Yeah.
And Trinity and NA have had some great battles the last few years, so I expect that to be a very intensely played game. Nice job by Jack Cranston. Seth's got a little bit of space here. Oh, that's a good ball.
Oh, that was a great ball.
But well read by the Wolves defender. Just about 2 minutes to go, and if the Titans have any chance of getting something out of this game, they're going to need a goal here.
Second ball.
Second ball, third ball, and ultimately cleared about 70 yards in the air by August Welsh. Good pass, finds Seth Molesky's feet, out to Cranston. Oh, that was a good look. Didn't
Yeah.
quite come off, but been a good second half. Trinity's played much better. I think they started to figure some things out.
Mhm.
I think this team's just going to keep getting better. Here's a chance.
Oh.
Oh, it fell nicely for Banga, but he just scuffed it, and he's still
He's still
down.
down. Slow to get out.
Yeah, I didn't see any contact, but he is definitely slow to get up, as you said, Layla.
Nope. Is that?
And we really got to hope that's
Yeah.
not an injury. That's one thing this team can't afford. He is getting off under his own power, so that's at least a good sign.
Maybe a heel click or.
Yeah, they're going to get Pierce Riddle in here. Bangus holding his foot or ankle.
He was stepped on. We watched the replay. He was stepped on by maybe one or two John Paul players when he was going for the kick.
Gotcha.
All right.
Great effort by Tucker Tedderton.
Yeah. Great ball.
I feel like there's been a lot of that today for Trinity. We've said great ball once, but it's rarely been twice in a row, you know. They've rarely been able to put
Yeah.
consecutive good passes together. But that's something that they'll continue to work on. It's still early days, and that's going to do it. So congratulations to the visitors from St. John Paul the Great Catholic High School. They made the trip from Dumfries, Virginia. They scored early. They scored late. And they win 2-0 in their, I believe, first regular season game of the season to go to 1-0. Titans dropped to 1-1. And Trinity soccer fans, if you're able to get out here in person, next home game is Friday, 4:30 against Covenant. And if you are farther afield and want to watch these guys, our next TESPN soccer broadcast next Tuesday against Norfolk Academy. Silvio, good job. Your first time announcing soccer. Thanks to our camera guy, Drew Kidwell, who worked hard to try and bring you the pictures, fighting through a little bit of technical difficulties. But if there's one man that knows how to make lemonade out of lemons, it's Drew. Or make money out of Skittles. He's a longtime candy salesman. And Layla Talabi, your first time announcing soccer as well. So enjoyed it, guys. Any final thoughts before we go?
I mean, no, I think we definitely saw a much better game, I'd say, from the Titans in the second half, and I'd like to see that for the rest of their season. I'm excited to see what they can do when they get some of those really foundation players back on the roster and starting.
Yeah, man, it's early days. I think this team will have a good season. It's a lot to learn from this game. John Paul was good. They played at a fast tempo. Looked like a lot of skilled players. Probably a lot of guys I think that appeared to my eyes to be, travel year-round soccer players, and they deserve to win today. But the Titans definitely battled hard, improved as the game went along, and a lot to build on for this relatively inexperienced team. All right, I got to go coach this JV game now. See how that goes. Want to give a player of the game before we sign off. For me, for the Titans, Matthias Russi. He was phenomenal in the center of the defense, and this could have been a much more lopsided game, but for his interventions on the defensive end, and
I'm gonna have to go with Jack Cranston for mine. I think he did a really good game. He had a lot of hustle second half and some great balls that if some players were able to get that another great ball, the game might have been a bit different.
yeah, that's a good shout too. Yeah, Jack had a really good game. And then for John Paul the Great, I thought August Welsh was really good. They're right back. He made good tackles. He connected passes. He was very involved, in the attack more than you might often expect from a defender. So good job by him. All right, any final thoughts before we sign off on this thing?
No.
All right, thanks everybody who watched. We'll see you next time.
Bye.